welcome back to my station Facts Fan, where we learn all about family and consumer sciences and life skills. Today we're going to be starting our cooking unit, and we're going to make smoothies and pita pizzas. So this is the recipe we would normally be using in class. You can find this recipe on my teacher webpage for pita pizzas and smoothies. Alright, so before you start cooking, there's a few things that you need to do first. You need to put up your hair if it's really long like I did, preferably in a bun. Put on a clean apron if you have one, take off any dangly jewelry, and wash your hands with hot soapy water. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do for the pita pizzas is preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. For the pita pizzas, you're going to be lining your cookie sheet with some foil or with parchment paper, just to keep the sauce and the cheese from burning onto the pan. So let's line that first. Okay, we're going to take our pitas out of the bag. Before I get some of those pizza crust crusts, which is fine too, put those on our cookie sheet. I'm going to put 3 on here, try to put 3 on here. There we go. And then we're going to put them in the oven to warm up for about 5 minutes. Remember to step to the side when you open your oven, let that hot air rush out, and set my timer for 5 minutes. Alright, so while the pita pizza is cooking in the oven for 5 minutes, I'm going to start on the smoothie. So for the smoothie, I like to get frozen fruit just because it keeps longer, it's easy to defrost, put in there. I like to get vanilla almond milk for it. Some kind of yogurt, usually I get a plain or vanilla one, and then any other fruit that I want, like a banana. Alright, so if you are using frozen fruit, I like to defrost my fruit first for a little bit, just because I don't like it too frozen, and it does make the smoothie a bit chunkier. So I'm going to put this in a bowl and put it in the microwave on defrost. So according to the recipe, you're going to need about 1 cup of fruit, or 3/4 cup of fruit, but you can put as much as you want in there, honestly, so I'm just going to eyeball it. That's good. And I'm actually going to use some frozen strawberries. Okay, let's pop that in the microwave. Alright, going to go in the microwave. I'm going to hit defrost, and I'm going to do 0.4 pounds and start. Alright, so for whatever liquid you're putting in there, be it milk or juice, I usually put about 1/2 cup in the blender. And there are already markings on my blender container here, so I don't need to use a liquid measuring cup. So I'm going to fill that up to about 1/2 cup. I'm going to put in my banana. You don't really need to cut this up ahead of time. And for the yogurt, you're going to do about, I would say 1/2 cup of yogurt, which you can eyeball, it doesn't have to be exact. Okay, so I'm going to put a couple heaping spoonfuls of the yogurt in there. And splash myself with it. Okay. Once your oven timer goes off for your pita pizzas, you're going to get a pot holder. Again, stand to the side, open up your oven a little bit, let that heat out, take out your pitas. Alright, once the frozen fruit is out of the microwave, I'm just going to dump it right in there. Okay. Don't forget to put the top on your smoothie maker. And then I usually hit blend, if that's one of the settings on there, or there might be a smoothie setting. So we're going to hit that. Let that mix up for a bit. There we go. And you should have your smoothie all mixed up. Alright, so as far as cutting up your vegetables go, make sure your parents are comfortable with whatever knife you're using. So I suggest a paring knife to start with. So for peppers, I just like to cut strips for the pepper like this. Okay. then turn those strips around and then cut them into smaller pieces. And just again, make sure you're keeping your fingers away and angled in so that you don't get the tips of your fingers with the knife. For the tomato, I cut the end off, and then I cut that in half. Okay, I put the flat side down, cut some strips this way, turn it around, cut strips the opposite way. Just be careful of my fingers. Okay. For the broccoli, I just kind of tear off some of the pieces that I want and then cut those into smaller pieces with the knife. Just like that. Okay, so I got those vegetables. Alright, so cutting up an onion is a bit trickier. I would have your parents help you with this part if you're not comfortable, but I will show you how to do this. So, first thing I'm going to do, so there's the stem part. I'm going to cut the opposite side off of the stem, put it down flat, and then I'm going to cut the onion in half. Set that one aside. I'm going to take off that top layer, because we don't want to eat that part. Go. Alright, so this is where it gets trickier. I'm going to put a line down the middle, cut into the middle, then I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to cut strips down the onion here. Then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to cut strips the opposite side. So this is how to cut an onion a little bit easier, but again, just be careful if you've never done that before. So the next thing you're going to do with the vegetables with this recipe is you're going to put them in a bowl and then cook them in the microwave for a little bit just to tenderize the vegetables. So this recipe is a little bit different than your standard pizza recipe. Okay, so I'm going to put all these in here. There we go. And then we're going to cover them with a damp paper towel. So I'm going to put the vegetables in the microwave for 1 minute, again, just to tenderize them. Okay, so let's assemble our pizzas. First thing we're going to do is spoon on some sauce. Whatever sauce you guys prefer is fine. And I use the back of the spoon to spread it out. Okay. Just like that. However much sauce you want on your personal pizza. Okay, then the next thing you're actually going to do is put on your vegetables. I'm gonna spoon or just use your hands to put on your vegetables. Most people think you put the cheese on next, but actually with this recipe you're gonna put the vegetables on next. Try and get that on evenly. A few more tomatoes for me. And then here we go. Okay. Then if you want pepperoni, I got these mini pepperonis, or you can get regular sized pepperonis. Put those on there. Ooh, there we go. Spread it around. And then you're gonna put on the mozzarella cheese. The reason why we're going to do that is because for the next step we're going to be putting the pizzas under the broiler in the oven and just melting the cheese until it's slightly browned. So as much cheese as you want on top. There you go. And then I'm going to finish the rest. And voila! Our pizzas are ready to go in the oven. Alright, so now in your oven you're going to hit broil. And I usually set mine to normal. Alright, so I'm going to make sure the rack in my oven is the second one down from the top. And I'm going to put my pizzas underneath the broiler. And just keep the oven mostly closed and watch it until it is done. Alright, so as you can see, the cheese is starting to melt on the pizzas, but I'm gonna have them cook until the cheese is slightly brown on the edges. Alright everyone, so here we have our final product of our little personal pan pizza and our smoothies. Bon appetit! Alright everyone, I hope you enjoy making this recipe and that it's very tasty. Stay safe in the kitchen and I'll see you next time. Bye! Next step for the pita pizzas is to line, really miso? Ugh.